Hi guys, and welcome back to Lazy May's Country Kitchen. We got something special. Here in North Carolina, Hurricane Ian's come in and we're going to do something. I was wanting chili. So I decided I was going to make something I've never tried before. I don't know how it's going to turn out. We'll let you know, and I promise if it ain't good, I'll tell you, don't try this at home. So you can see I've got my meat in here. And I'm in my lovely little Instapot again. I love this thing. Love, love, love it. I've added some salt, and you do your amounts. And whatever seasonings you think you like. But this here is roasted garlic. And I just shook some on. Give a little bit more for some extra garlic. Can't never go wrong with garlic. I added some salt, garlic, and here's just ground black pepper. Put that in there. And let that go. And I'm going to do some chili powder. And again, I've got my crock pot on sear. Because I always like my meat seared and everything whenever I'm making anything like that. Because you probably put all this stuff in here. But to me, it just gives your meat a better flavor if you sear it and cook it, fry it real good first. So that's what I do. I sear it. So we're going to brown the hamburger with the salt, pepper, garlic, and chili powder in it. And as soon as my meat gets seared, I'll bring you back with the rest of our ingredients. This is one of the stars of the show. Chili macaroni hamburger helper. So it's going to be quick. That way if we out of power, it'll be something we can just heat up over a fire or something real quick. With Hurricane here. God bless all of you Floridians, because you've been through a mess with this, and we ain't getting nothing like y'all are, but it sure is pouring the rain, and we're getting some pretty hefty wind gusts. But as soon as this browns, I'll be right back. Okay guys, as you can see, it's starting to brown real good. I got her all chopped up. We're just waiting on it to brown. But while it's browning, another seasoning that you need to put in here is out of your hamburger helper chili macaroni stuff. So just whenever you get these, they got a packet of seasonings and they got your noodles in there. So at this stage, all you need is your seasoning packet, which is on the bottom. Well, they all falling out. But anyway, all I'm going to do is tear this open. My little brother used to always pick on me whenever I was working and stuff. Hamburger helper was something that I made a lot. Now, I make them different, but I use them in used to use them a lot in different bases, but he used to call this my old family recipe. So now that you got it in there, just stir it up, and that way it can be seasoning in the hamburger as it finishes cooking, because it's not very far from being done to where I can add the rest of my stuff. So as soon as this finishes browning here in about 5 minutes, I'll be right back with you. Okay guys, I'm going to show you this. I got my dark red kidney beans, and whenever you're using these, always make sure you drain this juice and rinse your dark kidney beans really, really good. It's not good for you not to rinse them. So I just dump the juice out and then run cold water over them and drain them till it looks like all of the till your juice runs clear, because they'll get really sudsy. You see how it's got the suds on the top? You want to get all of that off. It's something about something in the juice of these red kidney beans that it's not good for you to eat. So you always need to make sure you wash them. Okay, so we're going to put the kidney beans in, and as you can tell, they're rinsed and drained. Next thing we're going to add is pinto beans, and I'm leaving the juice on them. It's not bad for you to have the juice on your pintos, just the red kidney beans. I'm going to add just a little bit more water. Let's mix these in here real good. And oh, I forgot to tell you, I did use 2 pounds of ground beef or hamburger, whatever you want to call it, in this. Okay, the next thing I'm going to add is some Rotel Original diced tomatoes and green chilies, and I'm just dumping the whole can in there. And then the next thing is another can of diced tomatoes, and we're just dumping the whole thing in there. And the reason it don't matter if you add water, because you're getting ready to add these noodles in here. So I always just rinse all the goody goodies out of the stuff. Now let's mix this up. And see, I'm still going to have to add some more otter. But get that stirred and mixed together real good. All of our ingredients are in except for the noodles. So I'm going to let this heat up for real good for about 3 minutes. I'll add a little bit of water. I'll dump it in. You always want to make sure it's good and hot before you add the noodles in, because if you don't, then your noodles are more prone to sticking together and not cooking right. So I always make sure anything I'm adding noodles into in your Instapot, that it's good and warm. But gosh, is it looking good. I hope it tastes as good as it looks, because I wanted me some chili tonight, and yum yum, I want me some. I'm going to add just a little bit more water. That way it's heating up. And I think whenever you're doing this, just make sure your juice, I've cooked this enough to where I can eyeball it, but it says 2 3/4 cups of hot water. And all I do when I'm putting it in here is I make sure my noodles are good and under the water, and there's just a tad bit over top of them, and it always cooks out just like you want it. Real good and thick sauce and all that good stuff. We'll see how it does, because like I said, I've not made this before. This was something that just popped in my head today whenever I thought I want chili tonight. So we're going to see how it tastes, and you're going to find out right here with us for the first time. And I'm probably just going to top this with cheese, But you could also add cheese in here too after your noodles cook and just, you know, cover it back up for about 3 or 4 minutes and just let the cheese melt. But I'm probably just going to, because before we'll be warming it up and everything, I'd rather just add it to the top. And then that way it's not as hard for you to clean your pot or your thing that you put it in the refrigerator with. But it's starting to boil or simmer right here. See my bubbles? So I know it's good and warm. So I'm going to go ahead, and I've got 11 minutes left on my sear time on here, and that'll be long enough for the noodles to cook. So when you put your noodles in there, you want to make sure all of your noodles are good and covered, or your macaroni, whatever you want to use. But see how they're all under the water? I always like to make sure the little holes are good and filled. But anyway, it's in there. So now I'm going to put my lid on here, and I'm going to cut the... I'll get her all locked and loaded. You know what I mean. Put the lid on here, hear that sound, and it's setting for the vent off. Sorry, for the vent off. And I'm going to let it sit here. There's 10 more minutes left on here. This will be up. And I'll let it sit here and cook. And then we'll just let it naturally release. And our chili's going to be ready. And it took 30 minutes. And my hamburger was a little froze. So, cross your fingers it tastes good. Because like, honestly, I cross my heart. This is my first time of doing this. So, let's see how it turns out. Okay, guys, I think this should be done. All my stuff is down. Hear that wonderful sound? That means you can open it. Yeah, we done. There was one thing I was going to put in here, and I should have put in here that I forgot, but it's onion. So I'm going to go ahead and add it. But do y'all see how pretty this looks? So some good chili. I'm getting ready to slap the onion in here. And I'm going to fix us a plate. I'm going to put some cheese and some tortilla chips. And I'm telling you, it smells good. I hope it tastes as good as it smells, because it smells wonderful. I hope I ain't steaming up the thing. But anyway, I'm going to get us some plated. Well, the onions are coming. And then I'm going to plate us some up. And I'll bring you right back. Alrighty, guys. In goes the onions. And I like mine fresh anyway, so I could have just added these to it, but I told him, I said, we'll go ahead and stick it in here, and then that'll wait, because it'll set and cook. That way they'll be good and crunchy for tonight's meal. But I'm sorry, I opened the refrigerator and seen it, and I said, I forgot my onion! So make sure you cook your onion in there. But Mr. Lazy's standing over here. He's about starved to death. So we're going to get him out some. See how pretty. And I guess you could take and add just a little bit. I like my stuff thick. But you can add more stuff to this to make it a little bit, you know, juicier or whatever. I'm going to put this back on here for a minute while we taste test this. Let me get him plated up and I'll bring you right back. Alrighty, I got Mr. Lazy's chili plated up, got the cheese on it, sprinkled some little bit of goodness on top.
Yeah, that ain't going to stay on there.
And let's see what he says about it. Now, I'm honest.
She may be the guinea pig on her experiments.
Uh-huh. Is it any good?
Mm-hmm.
Would you do chili with chili not with me this way again?
Mm.
I'll try back.
Did you want
Oh
chip?
my gosh. Mmm.
Did you want chip?
Yeah, this is really good. The only thing I would suggest is adding a little bit more chili powder to it than what I did. It needs a little bit more chili powder, and other than that, it'd be perfect.
Mm.
I'd say probably about a tablespoon and a half to 2 tablespoons of chili powder. But you can always add it towards the end after you taste it. But I'm telling you, it's really, really good. I give this a big fat thumbs up and a yum yum get you some. See you on the next one. Bye. He can't talk, his mouth's full. Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you something different that I'm going to do with my next pot of chili here. Whenever we was eating, some of the little kidney beans, most of them was done, but some of them was a little tough. So the next time I make this, and what I suggest you do is before you add your noodles, let it set and simmer or cook for about 30 minutes in your Instapot. Just start the sear mode over and just let it sit there and cook for 30 minutes. Then go in and add your noodles. Because I let it set and cook for, I don't know, probably about 15 more minutes or so, and there was no hard beans. So I just do it for 30 minutes, then add your noodles for about 10, and then let them set for about 5, and they're good to go. But this really was good. I mean, it's real good, and I would give this a very big thumbs up. Mr. Lazy liked it too, so I just wanted to tell you what I'm going to do on my next one. But yes, I will definitely make this again. This is a keeper, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next one.